Welcome back to the Game of Warriors. In today's video breakdown, OP3 scoring results with updated points table. Let's get ready to bring the hammer down. Let's do this. Division 4 OP3 scoring. Dirty Harry with the 210 base fails his solo for OP3 and places 4th. Looks like Dirty Harry is struggling with one OP left in the week. Will he be able to turn things around for week 2? Jabs places 3rd, scoring 86 on his 150 base. Unfortunately, Jabs did succumb to heavy casualties and lost 73 warriors in action. He might have dozed off and missed his stop at Buckingham Palace. Toe scores 162, taking advantage of 33 bonus points and minimalizing the troop loss to 5. Absolutely brilliant. Big Toe puts on the steel toes for his 134, which was his choice of base. Alpha with the 184 base comes out on top for OP3 with 181, scoring 33 bonus points and 36 points were lost due to troop loss. It's not his first rodeo with back-to-back first places on OP2 and 3. Well done, Alpha. How does this affect the points table for OP3? Well, let's take a look. Alpha continues to climb and switches spots with Big Toe. Alpha is now first with 7 points, Big Toe in second with 6 points. No movement from Jabs and Dirty Harry on the points table. Jabs with 4 points and Dirty Harry with 0. Harry Potter needs to fire Hermione Granger and find a new tutor now. Dirty Harry still looking to put a point on the board after 3 ops. Moving on to Division 3. OP3 scoring. 6 and Bam both fail their solos for OP3 and receive 0 points. 6, a veteran to Boom Beach and experienced warrior player. He is just warming up. Bam, the newcomer to Warriors, refuses to give up and will continue to push forward. Duck with the choice of base takes the 134 and scores 100, placing second. He did lose 34 points due to troop loss. And Mr. P continues to shine, taking first in OP3. He scores 164 on his 184 base. Is there any changes on the points table for Division 3 after 3 ops? Only one way to find out. Division 3 updated points table shows Mr. P still on top with 6 points. Duck jumps from 4th to 2nd with 3 points. Bam drops from 2nd to 3rd also with 3 points. He has 1 less solo and a lower difference in comparison to Duck. And 6 drops from 3rd to 4th with 2 points after 3 ops. Let's see how Division 2 is doing for OP3 scoring. Incredibly close scoring. Division 2 shows consistency. Frank places 4th for OP3 with 185. He had the 210 with a full send and lost 25 points for troop loss. That's right, scoring 184. That's how close this OP was. 184 scored 4th. Rufus places 3rd with 194, Skullcrusher places 2nd with 195, and Joss takes 1st with 197. Wow! All 3 players taking advantage of bonus points. Let's see if we have any changes on the points table. Division 2 shows Skullcrusher back in 1st with 6 points. 2nd is Rufus with 5 points. Frank in 3rd with 4 points. And Joss stays in 4th with 3 points. Now, let's see how Division 1 is doing for OP3 hits. Division 1, OP3 scoring. 3 solos and 1 fail. Crusher fails his solo for the 2nd op in a row, this time on his 210 Quantum. Let's see where things went south. And I'm a big fan of Quantum. I actually learned this hit from Frank, but nonetheless here we do have an artillery coming out, clearing some shock mines here. Artillery and barrages now coming out around the power core, clearing necessary mines, setting up our core rush here. Let's see what the next move is. I don't see any room for critter farming here. Once again, this is a very standard quantum layout, and it looks like we do have Private Bullet coming out to play with 6 landing crafts of warriors, 3 being flanked on the left and right. Let's continue and see what happens here. As Crusher does get off the ramp here on the right side, we do follow up Anchor Flare on the mortar under the coverage of a 1 smoke drop. Follow-up flare directly to the cannon. That's going to be our next anchor here. Beautiful job with the smoke. Warriors clipping some of the mines there. Nothing too much to worry about, but I am getting worried about the shock mines here. So as we now regrouping, follow-up flare directly to the flamethrower at 9 o'clock. I think those shock mines were the downfall to the hit already. Aggressive 4-core smoke drop as our warriors are still timed with the shock mines there. They're held back. The timing is off here, but as we do regroup, delay has been lost. A late flare to the core as those 4 smokes expire. Shocks coming out late. Warriors bringing down the hammer. It looks like Crusher did panic a little bit there. We do have multiple shocks actually coming out, pinning down rocket launchers and boom cannons over here, rocket launchers over here, machine guns at 10, and it looks like flamethrowers and machine guns at about 1, 2 o'clock here. And of course, as we continue, those shock mines, I think, definitely were the downfall of this hit here. It's very unfortunate. If Crusher just would have taken an extra second or 2 and used that artillery to at least clear 1 of those shock mines, it definitely would have opened up the path, kept the timing, kept the pathing, kept the pacing on par, but unfortunately, there just was not enough mustard in the bottle because of those shock mines. Very unfortunate, Crusher. Hopefully, we will see better results on tomorrow's operation. Let's move on to third place hitter. I just do need to point out with Mr. Crusher, we did have a delay, 2 boats of warriors trying to farm for the finish. Unfortunately, it was unsuccessful. Valiant effort, Mr. Crusher. Lone Wolf scores 97 on his 159 XL, taking heavy casualties with 62 warriors killed in battle. Let's take a look at this madness. Let's take a look at this madness here. Lone Wolf, once again, a big fan of that armor engraving. I believe he is at 74% armor reduction. So starting things off with Bullet and 2 boats of warriors in the mid of the beach there, anchoring under the coverage of a 1 smoke drop on the power cell. As we continue here, we will see a follow-up flare to directly anchor on the machine gun at approximately 11 o'clock of the power core. The warriors do actually peak just outside, actually not necessarily a peak, a little bit delay of the smoke there, which did cause the boom surprise to trip there. Nothing to worry about, not very much of a threat. Follow-up 4-core smoke drop will then transitional flare directly to the core here, and of course, as those smokes get ready to expire, 1, 2, 3 critter boxes coming out. Critter is actually peaking at approximately 2 o'clock right there, losing delay, but I think we lost delay on the landing here. And look at all those rocket launchers. Beautiful bullet placement, actually pulling in all those splash damage defenses directly in front and behind him here. But I don't think our warriors are actually lasting very long here. Unfortunately, that residual splash damage might be carrying over, and those rocket launchers are packing a punch. Yes, we are dealing with armor reduction up to 74% damage, but at the same time, too, with that many rocket launchers firing, and unfortunately, I think some of that residual damage was carrying over from the machine guns and the flamethrowers here. So we know that Lone Wolf did succumb to heavy casualties. There it is. I was like, it's only a matter of time before we see that delayed drop for the remaining warriors to hopefully farm job this finish here. And this is aggressive here. He's keeping it tight on the left here. We've got a wide range of power cells to farm here. We're going to speed this up to ×2 here. He's giving this a valiant effort here. We know this is we know this actually was enough mustard in the bottle to get the job done here. Excellent job. Sometimes you just got to go to plan B, and plan B is the farm job. Finish it. Keeping it tight on the left there, picking up every power cell in these warriors' path here. Excellent job here. Follow up reflare as we keep it tight on the left there. Continue as we follow up flare to the next batch of power cells there. Great job with the critters to add whatever little distraction we can to those rocket launchers here. Nice touch once again with that armor engraving here. These warriors are taking a beating from these rocket launchers, but that farming is getting it done. And there's the Bart job finish. That was beautiful. I loved it. You know what? The plan was 2 boats of warriors for the solo there. Things went south. We did have to drop the 6 boats of warriors to farm job that finish. You know, we built up a ton of gunboat energy with that farming and then just released the barrage and artillery at the end. Excellent, excellent job thinking on the fly. Boom! Boom! Goes the dynamite. Lawn Trout taking second with 194 on his 134 base with only 2 landing craft of warriors. Holy smokes, that's 66 bonus points on the hit. Minimal troop loss with 6 warriors killed in action. Let's take a look at this madness. Big fan of these Trout hits here. Mr. Trout starting things off with their artillery at approximately 11 o'clock there, clearing a mine. And it looks like we have barrage and artillery raining down on that shock launcher. Trout's going to art out that shock launcher. Let's go! Probably one of the biggest threats to the warriors is gone. So a flare to the sniper on the mid left of the beach there. Bullet with 2 boats of warriors being flanked on his left as well. Follow up smoke as we do anchor on the sniper. Aggressive second smoke as we then follow up to the second anchor, which is the mortar at approximately 9 o'clock of the power core here. As we then regroup and anchor on the mortar, follow up smoke as we then transition to the third anchor, which is our cannon here. I know exactly what Trout is going to do here. He's going to flare the core in just a second, and hopefully our 2 boats of warriors should stay inside. We're going to pause it for a second here. So that was a 2 smoke drop from approximately, let's say, 8 o'clock all the way to, let's say, approximately about 2 o'clock. And those warriors, those 2 landing crafts of warriors fit flawlessly inside that 2 smoke drop right there. Bullet is in great positioning too, because once again, some of the biggest threats we have to worry about with our warriors, especially for a tournament like GOW, when the goal is to send limited amounts of boats to capitalize on maximum amount of points. Single shot defenses such as boom cannons and cannons are meticulous threats, especially with 2 landing crafts of warriors. So every warrior counts here. I think that bullet positioning is absolutely amazing. Let's continue here. So he's going to be pulling in those boom cannons and cannons as those smokes get ready to expire. Critter box coming out at 12 and 2 shocks coming out, pinning down the 2 cannons at approximately 3 o'clock. And then, of course, the 2 rocket launchers push back at a further 3 here. And as we continue this madness here, excellent job with the critters at a high 12 as well, distracting the remaining boom cannons. 1 single boom cannon has been pulled in by that taunt there. The cannons directly in front of bullet, follow-up shock as we do get the cannons and the rocket launchers there. So fantastic bullet positioning, great gunboat energy management, and honestly a flawless execution on a 2 landing craft warrior solo on 134 Black River. Lawn Trout, exceptional effort, my friend. Boom! Goes the dynamite. And first place for Op3 goes to Web Wolf, scoring 197 on his 184 Strange Attractors, with 4 landing crafts of warriors, 44 bonus points gained, and 31 points lost due to casualties. Let's take a look at this. The only shielded gen on the hit here, and it gets first place here. Fantastic, Web Wolf. I love this. Once again, yes, this is our only shielded base for the op here, or at least from the hitters that we're experiencing here. Pretty standard here. Grapplers left, right, and center. There's no shock launcher over here. Normally you have a shock launcher where this boom cannon is. The dual lasers here is very, very typical. Sometimes you even have another shock launcher where this flamethrower is. And pretty standard around the core there. Sometimes you don't have a boom cannon at all. Sometimes you don't have a boom cannon at all. It's normally just flamethrowers, machine guns, and snipers. But I'm starting to notice more and more critter launchers in this placement right over here. So it does look like that we've got Bullet being deployed on the very far left of the ramp there, with 2 boats of warriors being flanked on the left and the right. And I can see that 1 smoke coming out, which we're probably going to anchor on one of these power cells here. Excellent. Follow-up anchor on the power cell, and as we go from the power cell, we're going to transition directly to the boom cannon. Excellent job there. 4 smokes as we then transition to the second anchored flare under the coverage to the boom cannon. From the boom cannon, our next move will be, drum roll please, critters to distract the grapplers. We're going to take out this boom cannon and this little cluster here. Excellent job with the taunt, pulling in the critter launchers, boom cannon, mortar, and sniper. Lasers are firing away at the warriors, but once again, not too much to worry about. Right there, taking out that 1 little cluster, that was step 1. So step 1 of the hit, successful. Let's continue here. Beautiful job under the coverage of a 2 smoke drop. We should then follow up with a 3rd smoke as we anchor on the machine gun at approximately 4 o'clock of the power core. Beautiful job. Follow up with the med kit. The warriors will need all that healing. Critters, great touch for the grappler distraction as that smoke gets ready to expire. Follow up shock, actually. Woo! I think we missed the flamethrower there, but nonetheless, Taunt pulls it in. That is amazing bullet placement right there. Warriors taking damage from the lasers there. Grappler slowly pulling in our first warrior here. Web Wolf now flaring around the core here. We're getting rid of all these defenses pretty much wrapped around the core here. We're going to follow up Flare now as we toss that critter and shock to get the flamethrower and sniper at the top there. Beautiful job. Now everything has been removed around the core here. This is great positioning here. Actually, Web Wolf flares back to a tight 12. And right now it looks like the only reason why these lasers are firing is because we've got a couple critters still in range of those lasers. Once those critters die off, those lasers are no longer a threat here, and we're going to speed this up to ×2. Absolutely beautiful execution here. Shield goes down. That's another thing to worry about. Remember, 2 rocket launchers in range here, and unfortunately, when warriors are attacking a shielded core, the warriors do not have their health regeneration until that shield goes down. So if your warriors are getting chipped away by rocket launchers while you're attacking a shield, well, that's just reality now in Boom Beach. That was a very nice touch with the very nice touch with the med kit from Web Wolf there. And as that shield gets ready to go down, soft underbelly of the core has been exposed here. Slow and steady chipping away here. I'm not exactly sure how many warriors. Actually, I do know. We lost 31 warriors, which means we've got 9 warriors in the. Actually, no, 44. Lost 31. I believe it is 13. It's 12 or 13 warriors in the back there, bringing the hammer down. That's beautiful. That was a lot of work. A lot of setup work to get to that point right there, undisturbed by these warriors of beer. Web Wolf, boom, goes the dynamite. That was awesome, buddy. Absolutely fantastic. And let's see how this looks on the updated points table for Division 1, Op 3. 0 changes on the points table for movement. Trout first, Webwolf second, Lone Wolf third, and Crusher still in fourth. Thank you all for tuning in to Game of Warriors. Op 3 scoring results and updated points table. We will be returning tomorrow for Op 4 and the wrap-up for Week 1. Have a wonderful night, my friends. We'll see you tomorrow.